Kathy here from kathyskutekreations. Today we're going to be working on the Penguin Cheer Block 5. And I'm going to show you me using my I'm going to show you this box here. It's called the non-fusing mat. Let's see if I can get it up close enough. I'm at an angle here. And it's a non-slip. It's a 17 by 24. And also with this came a bonus 17 by 24 Teflon coating non-stick. And you put that over the top of the fabric that you've laid down on the mat. And I will show you up here at the ironing board. So let's go ahead and get started. And here is my bag of already prepped pieces, because what I do is I get them all ready before I film. So everything fit in the bag for my block 5. And I'll show it to you up here at the ironing board. So I'm trying something new. And let me show you what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like that. And this mat, which is what I tried to show you earlier, is this here, the fusing mat. And then let me show you the non-stick Teflon sheet that came free in here. And that's what this is. Okay? It's real slick. It looks like it's rigid. I got little ridges in it. And you put this over, and then you iron on this. And as you can see, it builds up all the black from the penguin. That's what this is. It's the black from the fabric. Whatever colors you have. Okay? Because I've been working here. And it's sort of like staticky. But you put that over the top to avoid the glue from getting on your iron. Not on this, because it doesn't make any difference if it gets on this or not. Alright, let me get started here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is pull my pieces out. And we'll look at the picture. Now the advantage of this mat is that as you put everything down, and I'm going to show you, you should be able to pick it all up and transfer it to the fabric. Now remember, I'm going to show you the fabric real quick. This is our background, this piece right here. So it's the same shape as this, because it is landscape. And so the very first thing that we're looking at is the igloo. So let me just take all these pieces and put them on my paper. And hopefully I have cut them out correctly. Now as you can see, I have my double-sided fusible on the fabric, and it's on the wrong side of the fabric. Because when I pull this off of the fabric, this side will be sticky in order to set down like this. Now, as long as you're doing it on a mat like this, you can pull it up, put it back down, pull it up, put it back down, same kind of thing, until you've totally ironed it. Now, these are all the igloo pieces. And the tree. This is what it looks like if you're following along and you've cut this out. This is where you would be right now at this stage. And I try to label everything. Of course, this is an eyeball. I kept all my eyes the same color. These are the feet. This is a foot right here. And the wing. This is the front part of the face. Okay. So the first thing that it wants us to do is to build this igloo back here. And what I did, let's see, this is a tree part, a tree, and I believe a tree, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to start with the igloo. So it's kind of building it. Let's see. So what I did, because it's really hard after you have prepped all these pieces of paper and ironed all this and set it aside, to remember what is what. So this is what I do. I put igloo bottom, and I put igloo middle row. This is also the bottom. This is the top row, the middle, the bottom, the middle, and the top. So let's see if I've got enough pieces here. So it goes like this. And all you got to do is follow the directions. So in other words, on the igloo top on the left hand side, it has the curvature over here to the left and this curvature to the right. So these two pieces will end up going together like this. And then these two here are going to come down like this. Now, while you're doing it on your mat, you don't have to be correct on placing it. All you need to do is build it on here. When you place it, it's going to be placed on the fabric, and that's where you have to have it all correct. So let's see here. This is like this, and I know that this is shorter, but you've got your penguin. He's going up in this area right here. So let's get this together here. Let me see here. And it looks like that's the shape of it, like this. Okay. And I can't really go too far over there because I have my tripod set up right here. So I'm kind of working on this side over here. So now what you would do is you're going to take your paper and you can start it. In this case, I can go ahead and start it with my finger here. But if you can't, you can take a pen, pull it down through here, which will rip your paper, which is called scoring it, and then you can get a grasp on it. Okay, and then when I pull this, you can tell that this is sticky. And that's what you're trying to make sure that you've done. And then I will just lay this here. And not much more goes to the left of this here. So it's okay that it's like this because everything else is going to go towards the right part of it. So let me move it over a little bit further to the left because I got a tree on it. Well, actually, I think and this stickiness goes all the way out to the edge here. So if you go into the green, it's fine also. And that's all you're doing is you're just building it. So continue and build yours. So I had a problem with this piece here. And the sticky would not come off the paper. The fabric came out without the sticky. So I've laid it back down, re-ironed it, gave it a minute. And then in this one, as you can see, it's tore down the middle because I wanted to score it instead of pulling from the corner because that's where I was having an issue. So as you can tell, it worked. So don't be worried if it doesn't work the first time and it actually comes off with the paper. And I know this kind of looks funny because it should have been, this color should have been here. I mean, if you were going to make it that way, but I didn't want to make it that way. I'm still debating on putting this one over here. I'm thinking, I don't know, I just might want to be a little bit different. Okay, so here's where the body of your penguin goes. He goes about here because he's covering this. And all I'm doing right now is just slowly pushing it down like that. And then the next thing is looking at this. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, I probably should have brought it down further. Let's see if I can pick any of this up without moving it. Let me see. All right, let's just put an iron to it. Put my mat on here because I already know I want this to be like that. So all you do is just run your iron over it because I'm going to have to pick it up to move it down further because my other penguin needs to go on the top. I'll tell you, this black fabric is everywhere. All right, let's try that out. Let's see. I can pick it up in a section. Okay, so this is what you should be able to do, and I don't know if I've overlapped it enough or not. We'll find out here in a minute. Let's pick it up. Let's move it down here. About like that. Okay. All right. That looks good. Okay, so this other penguin needs to go like this. because he's on the edge of this house. He's probably more like that. So I want to go ahead and I believe off to the side here, I want to go ahead and put his arm. This piece is going to go here for his face. So if he's leaning like that, actually, let's see, he's more like this, isn't he? Let me put, that would go up there. Let's see here. Like that. Okay, let's just do that. To the best that I can. Doesn't need to be perfect. Everybody's is going to be different. And I am giving him the smaller of the two eyes. I can put his eye on, which is right about here. And then his arm, let's see, which is right here. And let's see if I can get it up there. Okay, so his arm is kind of down like this. Kind of blends in like that. Let's take a look and see. He's going to sit like that. And let's go ahead and prop that tree up over there and take a look at it. So let's see here. And I think this one goes like that. And this one goes like that. Sort of cattywampus there. I think I want to move it over a little bit more. Whoops, sorry about that. Just move this over here some. And then this on top of that. And actually I think that goes a little bit like that. This a little like that. Actually, I think this goes more of a straight, like that. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see, can we tip it a little bit more? I know he's supposed to be closer to the tree, but I guess I could put him down a little bit further here, like that. That looks pretty good. Let me get the stem on the bottom of that tree and take a look at it. And I made it in a gray color. Let's put this down here. What do we think about that? Let's go look at it. That looks like an awful pointy bottom of that tree, doesn't it? I think that looks pretty good. Let's make sure my fabric, nothing like putting that together and the fabric not working. Oh yeah, that'll work. Okay. I don't want to lose my 1/4 inch seam for putting it together. So let me take the back off of here because I hadn't done that yet. There we go. Put him like that. And I think he needs a foot underneath him over here. One little foot anyway. this. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's put the star on that Christmas tree. Here we go. How's that look? And I guess we better give him a beak. Boy, some of these pieces get really, really tiny. Especially this little guy's beak. Heck, it's smaller than my biggest thumbnail. Look at this. Get that little thing. Let's see. See if I can get it on there. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to put the pressing mat to it. Just to keep it in place. Let's move that paper there. Boy, that thing, I tell you, I must have wiped that like 3 or 4 times. I've used everything. All that static. Ooh. All right. This is a pretty thick mat, by the way. This Teflon mat, that's really thick. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right. There we go. Okay, so let's just go ahead and continue here. Now, I went ahead and I brushed. It's hard to use a, one of these things right here. Can't even think of what it's called. It's hard to use one of these on this because this is a sort of like a sticky, tacky. It's hard to explain what it feels like. And then I tried it on my Teflon, but that's a washout too. So what I did, and it really, I mean, it doesn't make any difference what you do. It just keeps getting the stuff on it. But I got one of these, I'm trying to read it. Oh, well, it doesn't even tell me what it is. But it's one of those towels that's supposed to collect all that. But every time you wipe it, it just collects more. So that's what I'm doing in between. I'm just going to wipe it off. But like I said, it's just going to keep collecting it. And I'm not going to worry about it. It's all that static clean and everything that goes on with those things. But that's the breaks of the game. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get him some eyes on here. And his beak. So here's one of his eyes. Or her, whichever, you know. There's another eye. I think it, let's turn that a little bit. I almost feel like that's not a round. There we go, that's better. Okay, let's get his beak. I know these eyes are supposed to be set close to his beak, but let's see here. So, I think that's pretty good. That has to go over a little bit more to the left. I feel like they're cross-eyed when you get them so close. I mean, I understand that they want you to put it on top, so you've got something on top of something else. But like I said, boy. There we go. That's all right. Like that. All right, so now what it wants is these little Christmas tree lights. And I really didn't make them. See, it goes up like this. Okay, I went ahead and I put his feet on, and I've got these all on. I just need to go ahead and iron them on. So let me do that. And then we're going to give it a few minutes. I'm going to hopefully pick the whole thing up without it coming to pieces and lay it over here. Actually, I'll move this mat and I'll put the fabric down, but let's give it a couple of minutes to cool off. I'll make sure nothing's coming up. Let's give it a little test here. Check it. Doesn't look like anything wants to come up. Okay. Okay, so before I pull that up, I was thinking maybe y'all want to see it come up. So let's just do it real gently, because if it doesn't come up, then we have to be able to put it back down on our fabric. So let's just take it slow and easy, just like this. That's all we're doing. See how he came off? So we'll set him aside off to the left of the ironing board. We're going to slowly pick this up. All right. So let me pull this out. Of course, that's got all that static cling on it. I'm going to go ahead and iron this. Now, as you can tell, it's got a fold in it because that's representing the middle. But I want to go ahead and warm this up and flatten it out the best I can. There we go. And we'll situate it on our fabric. We've got enough top and bottom, so we got our 1/4 inch. Penguin back up here on his foot. He was more of a bent, wasn't he? Okay. And his little nose come off a little bit, but we'll fix that. Kind of turn it a little bit. Now I'll go ahead and I'll put that Teflon mat back on here, or you can use your the other thing that I use, I can't even think of the name of it right offhand. But let me go ahead and use this Teflon since that's what I was using. But I'll get this out of the drawer so I can show you what we were using before here. So it was our sheer pressing cloth. That's what this is here. Okay, let me show you. We'll put this mat down here. So this is the pressing cloth that we have been using. And you can use it on this. I'll show you here real quick. On the corner. You can use this just like that. This is easier to see through than this other. So let me show you here. The disadvantage of this, because you can't see it, and I'm going to go ahead and use this sheer stuff, now that I gave it a thought, is that if something was turned upright, upside down or whatever, you wouldn't know it until you had already ironed it on. Or if a piece shifted on you, then it would be in the wrong place and you couldn't take it off. And lordy, lordy, we don't want to have to redo all of this after we've just done all this work. So I'm going to use this shear. And this is just one layer. It's not going to burn or anything. It's made for this. And we already know there's not going to be any glue because we already worked on our Teflon sheet. And that would have taken the glue off. Let me pull this up a little bit more. There we go. And get the feet down here. I think it looks pretty good. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Whoops, sorry about that. So there you go. The whole thing is completed. All it needs is your embroidery work on it. All right, I hope you all liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you for block 6 next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.